In this video, I'm going to cover some of the prep methods I use for both new material and refinishing, transforming this into this. Since I'm an impatient man, I'm always looking for the quickest way to get things done and at the same time produce good results. Here's my original woodwork and the finished product. Rather than taking time to plane wood down to 1/2 inch, I built these woodwork stiles and rails out of 1/2 inch MDF. Well, I found out in a hurry that a milled surface on MDF, a chamfered edge here, is not the easiest thing on which to get a smooth surface. I first tried a coat of shellac followed up by a brushed coat of primer. Well, that didn't work out so well for me. After consulting several woodworking message boards, someone put me on to Sherwin-Williams wall and wood primer, and I've been using it ever since. It has good build and sands to a powder without clogging the paper. You may also make a light gesso mixture by adding a little drywall joint compound to the Sherwin-Williams primer. You can brush this down any milled edge. It fills great and sands easily. Another trick for filling milled edges of MDF, or wood for that matter, is to use auto body type primer out of a spray can. It has great build and sands to a powder. I often use it on small projects so I don't have to stir the primer and dirty a brush. However, if you load it on, you're going to have to let it dry for several hours before you sand it. The closets in my home all have louvered doors, and there can't be anything worse than prepping and painting these things by hand. When refinishing, I think the most important thing is to have a clean surface free from oily deposits. One of the tricks I've carried over from my automotive days is using Scotch-Brite soap and water as my initial prep. In this case, I first sprayed the doors with a detergent using a hose end sprayer and then pressure washed that off. Next, I made a basin of hot soapy water and Scotch-Brited the doors. This removed any dirt and grime left over from the initial cleaning and also gave the surface some tooth for primer adhesion. I will also Scotch-Brite soap and water on interior surfaces when I feel it is necessary. Yeah, that can get a little bit messy. To cover myself, I have to say this, please, please, please don't use a pressure washer in your house to clean the soap off. Clean water and a sponge will work just fine. After leaving these doors dry overnight, I filled some gouges using body filler. Before using body filler, please view my video, Mixing and Applying Body Filler, on my YouTube channel. That's user 3279. Again, that's YouTube user 3279. In winter, when I don't have the luxury of moving outside, I still often resort to traditional sanding. I like the DeWalt Orbital with vacuum attached, and by far one of my favorite tools is my Dremel Multimax. The last step before applying our top coat is a coat of primer. In a previous video, I showed the building of the gold leaf corner blocks. See my video, Designing Trim Blocks with a Spirocrafter. For a demonstration on how I applied the stripes, please watch my video, Pinstriping Woodwork using a Bugler Striper. If you have any comments or suggestions on this video, please feel free to post them. I welcome them. Plus, you make it a great day, and thanks for watching.
Check out our tools I use Amazon online store at www.budmanproductions.com. That's www.budmanproductions.com.